yet. What's your name?
Correct?
Correct. Are you done speaking and everything? Yeah. Okay, perfect, all right. Because they have the rules, obviously, in the building that you have to have a mask on. I mean, there's nobody here that you don't have to, like, be worried about, but they just said that if you're gonna go back in there, you know, obviously wear your mask, take it down as you're speaking and things like that. So just keep in mind, all right? Are you gonna leave now, or are you gonna go back in, or what's your?
Here's the frustrating thing, is that I have a medical exemption, and the town attorney, or the town manager and the governor both state that they recognize that people with a medical exemption do not have to wear a mask or a face covering. What I don't understand is that when I said I have my medical exemption, I carry it with me always, they are saying, yeah, sorry, you either have to wear a face shield, which is a face covering, is also exempt. Then they're saying, then you can come in virtually, and they're denying me access to this building.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm new to this. I'm new to the situation. I haven't been here. I know there's other officers that have spoken to you or have been on this call before. I'm sorry, say it again?
I have not had to deal with a police officer
No.
in regards to
Okay,
this, no,
all
I
right.
have not.
But you spoke, you know, you did what you have to do, right? Speaking as far as, you know, in front of the podium. Are you gonna go back in for any reason at all? Do you know?
Yeah, I think that if she wants to go in, that she should be able to go in. This is a town public building. This is the town building.
I'm being denied the right to be here.
Who denied that again? Say that again?
Michael Maniscalco.
He denied it. He allowed, I mean, you were just in there right a second ago and you were able to speak, so I didn't see any denial. You know, I don't know if that happened in the past
So is she allowed to go back in?
with the mask on, that he was required.
Okay, so his voice, his chatter means more than what her doctor is saying, because she's a pregnant woman who has been told that she's not allowed to, by her medical provider, cover her face. So does he trump that?
Well, I'm asking, are you?
No, answer the question. Are
you her doctor?
No, I'm one of her best friends. So, and I'm making sure that this is okay, that I'm gonna get her the best treatment.
Can we step outside and talk?
No, she doesn't have to.
I'm asking her, I'm not asking you. Can we step
Yeah,
outside
I
and
know
talk?
that, but she doesn't have to.
I'll speak for myself. I just want someone to point to me that says, why should I be denied access to this building? Like, why do I have to go talk to you outside in the cold when I have every right to be here? I have my note from my doctor saying that per her recommendation, I do not wear a mask, especially for extended periods, which she meant explicitly because she knows that I'm involved in town politics and I attend these meetings that can last anywhere, you know, from 1 to 3 hours. She does not want me in a mask for that amount of time.
Do you have the note with you?
I do.
Can I see it?
Sure. My doctor's orders were, if you have to put a mask on for 10 minutes, go ahead. But she does not want me wearing a mask for extended periods of time. I expressed my concern to her that I do attend meetings where I am wearing masks for extended periods of time. Anything over.
Do they give you the option to do it virtually, like going to the meeting virtually or
So,
anything like that?
yes, but they're still denying me the access.
So how long have you been here? Today.
I don't know exactly now.
Well, the note says that you should limit extended periods.
Right. I would
So
like to-
a short period of wearing a mask, according to that, should be acceptable, right?
Right, this is going to be an extended period of time.
Okay. I believe that the town manager, their intent is to issue a trespassing order, which basically says, not following the rules, which is to wear a mask. So if you're not following the rules, you're not able to come into the building.
So,
What we would prefer is you just wear the mask, you need to come out and take a breather because you want to follow your doctor's recommendations. Go out, take off the mask for a little bit, or you can just go into the bathroom and take off the mask for a little bit. Put it back on and
So you
return.
just told a pregnant woman, go to the bathroom so that she can take her mask off.
Sounds like discrimination.
It sounds exactly like discrimination.
that even though my doctor
Sounds
But it
exactly like
applies to- It applies
discrimination.
to everybody though.
It doesn't matter, it's
I'm
discrimination.
gonna my doctor recommends I do not wear the mask for extended periods of time. This meeting
Correct.
is an extended period of time. I would like to be able to be here without it being interrupted. The, municipal or the executive order from the governor allows for medical exemptions given that the proper written documentation from a certified medical professional, which this is, then that's all you need.
We're not talking about a state mandate though. We're talking about a local
Okay.
ordinance.
No, it's not a local ordinance. It was a press release given by Michael. And in his press release, he stated that if you had a medical exemption, then that's fine as well. Except now that I do have a medical exemption, he's saying that no, now I need to follow ADA rules. I don't have a disability. I don't fall under ADA. I just have a recommendation from my doctor. That's it. No, as a
Have you
police
spoken to
official-
Roberts yet?
Yeah, I was talking to the town manager, Robert's kept getting me to the town manager.
Okay.
He just wants, I mean, obviously, you know, I get your situation, I really do, I really understand, you know, the medical exemption, sorry, and, you know, being pregnant, you know, their rules are rules, right? And every place, I think, needs to have a better understanding as far as like what, you know, obviously you're pregnant, you wanna stay here for the time, I asked you about the virtual meeting, what was as far as the virtually,
So-
doing it online?
Originally, I
Mhm.
said, fine, I'll go virtual.
Okay.
I called in for my public input, which they gave me explicit instruction on how to do that.
Okay.
When I went to call in to do my public input, they said, nobody's here to give public input, and then they moved on. So I said, no, you know what?
If you need to, yeah, you wanna have your say.
tried. I really tried, you know, I didn't go to another meeting because of this. I tried to be respectful today, but then when they keep disregarding that I have the proper written documentation, they don't allow me to, you know, do my public input virtually like they said they would, then I have a problem. It's like, okay, I've tried to play by all the rules, I've tried to be respectful, and still, I'm getting pushed out.
Okay. Alright.
You know, I just feel like as, you know, police officers like taking oaths to defend the Constitution, and, you know, part of the Connecticut Constitution says that you cannot take action against someone who is not, you know, blatantly breaking the law. I've done everything that was asked of me, and still, you know, I have 3 police officers standing in front of me asking me to leave. I just don't understand.
We didn't ask you to leave, we didn't tell you to leave. We were
He
just
did.
talking.
I asked to step outside to
Yeah,
speak to
to
her.
speak with her. Are you, like I said, do you wanna attend the whole meeting?
I would like to attend. this.
Okay. Alright.
I feel that I have the right to.
He has a check on the exception. She's spoken in the whole meeting. And said what he said. That they're not gonna be leaving because she wants to come back.
How you doing? I'm the supervisor today. My name's Kyle. What's your name?
Kyle, nice to meet you. I'm Corinne.
Corinne. Okay. All right. Let me just go talk to the town manager real quick. So,
I showed the other officer here, the exemption.
I'm not gonna ask for it. So,
Not supposed to.
I'm not going to. Yeah. You know what, guys? I'm on your side.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
I understand.
I
All right.
tried to be respectful. I tried to do everything right, and no one else denied. the
You
chance.
seem like a very nice person. So,
Appreciate it.
you know, you're not down here yelling and screaming and whatnot. Believe me.
Not
it's-
her.
That's me.
Oh, that's her?
That would be me.
Oh, okay, all right. But, let me just go talk to the town manager real quick. I can't promise anything, but if he said he doesn't want you in the meeting, he has that right to make that determination.
What do you
We
mean
may
by
not,
that, though?
we may not agree with that, but
I don't, so my question is, what do you mean by that he has that right when in the executive order by the government allows for medical exemptions and?
go ahead.
His own press release states that it allows for medical exemption, so it just seems like, I know I'm kind of a thorn in his side.
Yep.
And I challenge him on a lot of things within the town.
Mhm.
And so, you know, it seems like even when I go by his rules, he changes them on me. And so I've done everything I'm supposed to, so now it's just like,
And-
well,
and-
because he says so, that I can't be here? That
And I
doesn't-
agree with your first 2 points, but this is separate now. If he doesn't want you here, he can pretty much point to anyone in here and say, I don't want them here, as a, you know, controller of this building, so to speak. You know, an agent of the ownership of this building. I know it's a public building, however, he does have ultimate control of the building. He can tell anyone he wants that they don't want, they can't be
It's okay
here.
for him to medically discriminate?
I'm not saying discrimination, I'm just saying for tonight, to leave or whatnot.
But he
like,
has to leave
no,
because.
no, but like I said, I'm gonna go talk to him and try to have cooler heads cooler heads prevail, you know? So, because I understand, if you have a medical exemption, I'm gonna take it at your word, so.
Do
I'm
you
gonna
think
take it
he'd
at your
actually have the guts to come out here and talk to her himself?
I
Let
can't-
Kyle,
I
let
can't
Kyle
speak
do
to
his
that,
job, let
so.
Kyle do
Oh
his
no, I'm
job.
just saying, I wonder, because that would be
Yeah,
fascinating.
no
We
problem.
never been talked
So-
by police
Good, how are you?
So there's been other instances where we have had other people, and I've never been on the shift as far as like for the town council meeting, so that's why I thought that you were talked to before, but.
I'm not a chronic
No,
troublemaker.
you're good, no, I get it. Do you live in town?
I do.
Alright, just again, we always get people's identification. I hope you have no problem, obviously, me getting your ID.
You don't have to supply that if you don't want to.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
I know, I'm just telling you, you don't have to give them anything.
Okay. So even though she claims that medical exemption, so like that's the mass.
And Bree Simmons, 3 Sun Valley Road, Arkansas.
It's his words.
Right. This one?
Yeah, I'd be scared of it. Just it looks like it's frayed.
Is it frayed, you said?
It looks a little frayed, yeah.
Oh, I'll get it checked out, thank you.
Yeah, just to verify, that's all.
Sure, I'll be happy to do
Ask the town manager if he wants a lawsuit for discrimination.
that. I can't speak to that many.
No, you can ask him though. Right there. Right there. That's him. He gets his jollies off by being mean and making pregnant women bend the knee to him.
I'm not gonna ask anything further or to see any proofs of that, but that's what she said.
That's fine, if she has a medical exemption, that's it, like, spent all week on this medical exemption.
Okay.
And just because she has a medical exemption, well, that means she doesn't have to wear a medical exemption. Just look up there, something else, on there, she could call in, she could do all kinds of other stuff. She just doesn't have to.
The call-in didn't work, Maniscalco. So, just so you know.
For her to attend the meeting, what would you like her to do?
We either have a face shield
Go
or
on.
she could wear a mask.
Okay. Alright. I will relay that to her, so.
He's scared of a woman. It's funny.
Okay, unfortunately, he said that in order to attend the meeting tonight, you either have to wear a mask or a face shield.
Can I just read something to you?
Go ahead.
There's two things right here. Any person, this is from
What do you got?
the executive order from the governor.
Mm-hmm.
It says, any person who declines to wear a mask or face covering because of a medical condition, blah, 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 shall be exempt from this order and any requirement to wear masks or face coverings promulgated or pursuant to any COVID-19 order, but only if such person provides written documentation that they're qualified, which I presented.
Mm-hmm.
In Michael's press release, it states, this order also includes exemptions for persons unable to wear masks for medical reasons. So I'm doing exactly what is asked of me. I'm using Michael's words, I'm using the governor's words, I'm using the words of my doctor, and I just don't understand why there would be any confusion on whether I'm allowed to be in this building and why it feels like I'm being denied the opportunity to attend a town meeting. Especially when the reasonable accommodations that they gave me are in conflict with the executive order, do require face covering, or me attend virtually, which denies me access to this room, and when I tried to make my public input, the service just happened to not work.
Okay.
Even though they knew I would be calling, because I was in contact with them today.
Okay. I was gonna say, there's been a lot of back and forth on this, correct?
Yeah, so they're
Okay.
just,
All right.
every time I
know
show
he's
them the
shaking his head
words.
over there, so.
I'm saying, these are your words, these aren't my words. I've done everything that's been asked of me. So what's the problem here? It's like, every time I do what's asked of me, the rules change. Like, oh, well, no, now you fall under ADA. I never claimed I have a disability. I do not have a disability. I have the recommendation of my doctor because of a medical situation that she recommends I do not wear the mask for extended periods of time.
And I totally take you at your word, so.
So what's the
Like-
problem here?
Like I said, it's a frustrating situation. You know, I may not necessarily agree with it, but
But so does that mean that you have to enforce it? Why do you have to enforce it if you're what he's using as the muscle?
Let me just talk to him, okay?
No, I'm just curious.
No, I got you, and I'll answer any of your questions after.
Okay.
So, all right? Refer to me as a muscle, that's funny.
You are.
So, look, like we had spoken before, absent all the COVID stuff, the town manager pretty much runs a roost on this building. He can point to anyone at any time and say, they can't be here, and then when you're told to leave a building where someone has control and, oversight of that building, you have to leave. Otherwise, then it becomes criminal at that point.
But what's
So-
criminal is him medically discriminating against me.
And again, that's,
So I'm asking you, can you take action against him for medically discriminating against me?
I'm not taking any action then, so.
Like how would that work? Do I just call it in, like, hey, I'm being medically discriminated against, like I'm not.
I think honestly, there's other avenues to make that complaint. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I know what those avenues are, or what agencies you have to make that complaint to, but I don't think it's a criminal matter. So, and I totally, fully support you making those complaints, if you feel they're based in fact and, based on the circumstances here, so, I'm trying to work.
I
you know.
understand, and that's.
But unfortunately, he says he doesn't want you here tonight. He offered you the face shield or the face mask. I'm not sitting here gonna force you to comply or anything, but those are the two options. If we don't wanna have either of those options, then he said you can't be here tonight. So, believe that. This is frustrated as you. Everyone's all done with this COVID thing. Believe me, everybody's, wants this to be over and done
It's
with.
frustrating because I understand that he is responsible for funding the police department. Like, he's the whole puppeteer to all of this, and you guys have to take orders from him. But in doing so, you're bypassing the oath that you hold to the Constitution, which says you cannot take action against anyone that is not, I forget the exact wordings, I can pull it up, that's blatantly against the law. Like, and I'm not doing anything.
I'm just.
So then I
he
can go
had-
sit
he
and no
asked me-
action will be taken against me?
Yeah, I'm talking about where we are right now. Okay, I'm trying to help you out here. So I'm trying to find common ground, so to speak. So
So what would happen if I go sit in the other room?
you've been asked to leave, so you can't go in the other room.
So
I
action
don't,
has been taken
and
against
again, that's not, I'm just unfortunately having to be the bearer of bad news.
No, I understand
He's
it's
telling
not
me
you.
that he
But
doesn't
then-
want you here, and then, if someone doesn't comply, we have to show up. So,
So do you have a suggestion on how I follow through on this?
follow through on this. Like I said, if you think that there's an ADA complaint, I think there's avenues in which to make those complaints.
That's the problem, is that these
And
are-
also, everyone has a boss. I have a boss. He has a boss. His boss are those individuals up there.
No, they're not.
Those individuals have a boss. They're the townspeople. So, there's other strings to pull if you think you're being wronged, or, if you wanna make your voice heard. All those people up there can be reached outside of this, by email, telephone, and it's all posted online as to their contact information,
So would I
Yeah.
get just a written warning of trespassing?
So I think that's what they wanna do tonight. They wanna issue you a written warning of trespass.
If she goes back in.
If she goes back in?
No, you can't go back in tonight, but I'm saying, is that what
So
they
would
wanna
you
do?
physically detain her if she was to try to go back into that building or into that room?
I don't want it to get to that point.
But would you?
I don't want it to get to that point.
So then she can just walk in. Because I would love to have that on camera.
I
Of
know
a,
it's not you, but like, can we just take commands from a puppeteer that, like, is literally breaking his own rules? Yes, the answer is yes.
Like I said,
I know it sucks, like, I understand.
I think it sucks for everyone involved here, all right?
but she's the one that it's happening to. And it's not fair. And it is a prejudice that he has against her.
No, I got that, but if we were to escalate this when it doesn't have to be escalated.
You know, the real unfortunate thing is that I think he's really putting the town, like, I don't understand you're following instructions, but I think he's putting the town in legal jeopardy.
Yes.
By taking action, writing me a warning of trespass against.
Honestly, I think we're, again, it seems like COVID has been here forever, and it sure feels like it's been here forever, but I think the legal roads that we're trying to navigate now are relatively new, and I think a lot of this, what we've been going through in the last year and a half, 2 years, will be sorted out, unfortunately, in the legal system in years to come. And I think you, people like you, will be on the right side. But however, unfortunately, it's a legal system, and it takes time. And being part of that legal system, it's frustrating that it takes that time. But I'm just telling you, as a reasonable person, from the outside looking, or from the inside looking out, you know.
Can you just tell him you don't want to do his dirty work from here on out? I'll leave tonight.
You
I'll
also
take
have to
warning of
understand my
trespass.
position too.
I do,
I'm a sworn member of the police department. I work for the town of South Windsor. Ultimately, he is the commanding or the commanding quote unquote law enforcement official of the town.
Right.
So, I have to take orders. I
Get
have
my
a family at
trespass to
home.
leave,
I
but-
have to feed people, I don't wanna be put in a difficult situation when it doesn't have to be put in a difficult situation.
Have any of the
When it
cops,
doesn't have to be escalated.
have any of the cops stood up though and said to him, this is wrong and we don't want to enforce this?
I have no knowledge of that.
That's
I hope
sad.
that happens.
Your voices mean so much to this community and to everyone who backs the blue, which is all of us in this room. We all back the blue, and yet I feel like you guys are being used in these situations, and it's undermining what you guys are supposed to do. And it's not the loyalty that you're supposed to have to the citizens. All you're doing right now is, unfortunately, you're his minion. And that is so sad. And I know you've been polite, but it's the truth. He's making you do something you don't even want to do it.
Like I
But he's
said,
saying,
we
but
have to
you're
work-
you're
we have to
fearing.
We have to work with the laws and the regulations that are on the books right now.
But those.
Be it if we feel that they're unjust, but like I said, I think
It's law and law.
know.
It's a man with a Napoleon complex who's.
Well, thank you. I hope you speak up.
I hope that
Thank
all of you guys do, because unfortunately the respect is going to go right down the toilet for the men and women in blue if they continue to do this stuff. It's already gone down the toilet for a lot of them in New York City for what they're doing to people, kicking them out of restaurants and that kind of thing. And now you're kicking out a pregnant woman.
That's New York City.
I understand that, but you're doing the same thing here, sir. You're kicking her out.
I'm being told.
You're being told what to do,
Someone-
and that's exactly what they
Alright.
say in New York.
Miss.
It's the same thing. It's
All right,
wrong. It's wrong. And I'm so sorry to see that, because
All right.
it's just disrespectful to the badge. It's so sad. All right.
Bye.
Karen.